Good afternoon, assalamu alaikum everyone, and welcome to another karting video. We're at the home of the British 24 Hours, the Teesside Autodrome up in Middlesbrough, and I thought, I've got a nice little visor cam courtesy of Cambox, so why not show you guys what a few laps at Teesside looks like, because Teesside don't allow helmet cameras or like GoPros mounted to the camera, but I could use a visor cam. So here are some laps at the circuit, and I figured it'd be nice to, give some footage for anyone looking to go to Teesside and seeing what the track is like and just how bumpy this circuit is. Now, I have mentioned on the thumbnail and on the title that I've got some live commentary, because I realised while I've got the Cambox in, I could actually commentate while racing, but it took me a couple of laps to realise that. And well, the mic isn't designed for commentary, but it still picked up my voice and it made it sound a bit rawer and a lot more fun, I feel. So I hope you guys do enjoy it. That will be starting in a few minutes. This was my first session of the weekend. It's a test session. I couldn't run it during the race itself, but in the test session I had the visor camera and we had some really old tyres on the kart, so the rear end was all over the place. The kart was sliding like crazy. So we've got this first session. The second session we put some slightly newer tyres on, and then the kart was handling so much better. I think in this session our fastest time was a 1 minute 13.9, and then in the next session we managed a 1 minute 12.4. Or 1 minute 12.9, so the tyres played such a huge difference in just how fast we could go. But with these tyres on, they were really cold. There was a little bit of oil. We actually had a bit of brake cleaner that I had dropped from the car onto the tyres, so tyres were super slippery, needed to clean them up. These first few laps, do not judge me for these laps, these are awful. The tyres are absolutely shot. They'd just done a 6-hour race a few weekends ago, so there was very little grip left in the tyres, and this was more about getting in tune with the kart. You can see how early I am on the brakes. I can't even hold the kart tight coming out of corners because the rear end just wants to step out. In case anyone's wondering what kind of kart this is an owner-driver kart. This is not the rental karting kind of videos that I usually post, but here is the live commentary.
Oh my god, this is the worst handling so far I've had it on a while. Whoa! The rear end, they're just trying to step out on me every single place. Come on. They're going to quit the lap in now. The rears are just so slidey, it's unbelievable. I just have no confidence in the kart right now. Oh, they come out too wide at the top of the hill, so that compromises us through the right-hander. And now, this is the best part of the circuit, because you go pretty much flat, but you've got to get on the brakes early, because otherwise the braking zone isn't long enough going into this hairpin. Out to the middle of the circuit, back to the left, on the power, and you let the car all the way out, and thankfully the rear end isn't trying to completely murder us. Now this should be flat, but the rear is just absolutely all over the place. Late brakes to the apex. Missed the apex a bit, not too bad though. And then gently on the throttle let the car out. Well, it wants to come out anyway. And coming to lap us, because we really don't have the pace. Oh! The rear end. It's awful. I know I've said it like 5 times so far, but we're slowly pushing the car a bit further. But sometimes it's about grasping out what the issue is. We can't change it, but we also have to learn how to deal with that issue and how to drive around it. Because in a race, you can have issues appear at literally any point in time, and you need to be on the top of your game. Because if you're not, you're going to lose all that time because you're complaining about the car instead of learning how to drive around it. So this time's much better. We get a much nicer run into this hairpin, but I'm still not hooking up the lap. I'm still just trying to learn how to drive around it. we're half a second up. That time we control the rear end a lot more. A little lift through the corner. Oh, that was glorious. But again, the rear end is just fighting with us. We're just losing traction coming out of the corners. But we're still improving, and that's the main thing. So I want to keep doing what I'm doing until I stop improving. So little high to do is by 1:15.1 UKB. Let's go into the 14th now. I have no idea how good the audio is. We're almost half a second up already. Yes, got on the power really early. Now we're going to be able to get a good run over the crest. And look how much time we've gained. 3 tenths. Surely 4 tenths. All because we didn't compromise ourselves on the exit. There we go, lovely. Use up water cycle on exit. 8 tenths up, 9 tenths. We're still gaining time. I think these tyres are slowly coming up to temperature. We lost a tenth there, hard on the brakes. I lost a bit of time on the exit. Still 1 second up. We're almost into the 13th now. 1:14.5. Come on, half a second more. We can do it. We're already at 10th up. We carry more speed even though we missed the apex, so we gain time. Oh, this isn't going to be the best of runs. Just try to keep the car in order. We were 2 tenths up, but I think that delta's going to come down. We're at 1 tenth. We might be dead even coming through the S's. Well, the quad bike's on circuit, but I've not seen a yellow yet. So we can keep pushing, but at least we're aware that there might be a yellow. And that was a nice exit. A tenth up. We've definitely got the time to get into the 13s. A little bit of power braking just to keep the wheel in check. There we go, much better. Using that rear end stepping out just to help us get the kart rotated. This is so much better than at the start of the session. The rear end is still very slidey. Another 1:14.5. We can definitely go into the low 14s, because let's just not mess up this border. We can carry so much more speed into there. And just coming out too wide over the top of the hill. I'm trying to keep my foot planted, and I think that's costing me a tiny bit of time. Rear end really loosey-goosey. That was a nice exit onto the back straight. 2 tenths up. Right, keep that rear in check. Just about in check. Drifting a little bit wide. Missed the apex. Hopefully we got on the power a bit early and that saved us a bit of time. Again, 2 tenths up, and we're dead even with the 14.5. Whatever the Alpina says I'm going to get, it's usually 2 tenths slower. Oh, 3 tenths quicker. That's more like it. Yes, yes. Lovely. We absolutely nailed that, and we're 2 to 3 tenths up on the back straight. Right, let's get this right. And this is why Teesside is one of the most fun circuits in the UK, just because of that sequence of corners. Oh yes, 5 tenths up, half a second. Come on, 6 tenths, we can't mess this corner up. No! Oh, the rear end! just not enough power braking. Miss the apex by a tiny bit. Rear end out, and then on the power once it stabilised itself. This is it, this is a good lap. I don't think it's going to be a 13 though. I'll have a look at the delta once I come out of the prospect chicane. 114.1. I'm definitely enjoying the car a lot more than I was at the start. The car has so much more speed. Yes, little bit of power braking makes all the difference. Just stop the rear end from coming out, settle the car down, and you're actually get a much better exit. Dead even, which means we're about 2 tenths down. Oh, the power braking worked a treat. Oh yes, we're up. Oh! The 14.3, a tenth down in the end. We're already 3 tenths up. We got the first tip getting really nice. Oh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. Again, just missing that apex by a tiny bit. On the power nice and early. Little down on the brakes. That felt really nice. We're still up 3 tenths. We didn't lose any time. Get on head down. That's on slipstream, isn't it? Whoa! Just a bit too aggressive on the brakes that time round. And that's why you shouldn't chase time. And we caught the slide really well though. But we did drop nearly 3 tenths. Although we're getting 2 tenths through there. Again, 3 tenths up. Probably going to be down to 2 tenths over the line. .14.14. We're getting closer to that 113. Come on, Houston. Use all of the circuit. Don't miss this apex. Ah, I missed it. Really nice over the curb. Didn't have to use a brake and we kept the rear end in check. We might get a turn from this go on the next straight actually. So let's look at this pit sequence of corners. Lost a little bit of time on corner exit. Yes, baby. Go on, get back, Toad. Come on, 113. Yes, boys, 113. Right, unless I'm improving on this lap, I'm going to put box. A little bit wide coming out the corner, but hopefully that makes me carry a bit more speed. Long behind us, we're already up the pace now. 2 tenths up. Not the best of exits, we don't have the slipstream to that. Controlling the slide really well through there. Missed the apex by a tiny bit. slightly wider line that time round. Ah, not quite. Just going to signal in case one is looking that I want to take by another 30, that's good. Oh man, the bumps, they call it with them for a reason, don't they? Yes, we got the apex. Ah, a little bit slow though. And we missed that apex by a tiny bit. On the power nice and early, and again through here. Still 2 tenths up, let's see what we can find. Little bit of a power slide. .9, not bad. Not bad at all. Definitely need to make some minor setup changes. Let's weigh ourselves on the weighbridge. 188.0, that is literally the minimum weight. So we're bang on weight.
So here I am stepping into the kart for my second session of the weekend. This was the very next day. We've got some slightly better tyres on the kart, and you can see that one of my teammates did a 12.4, so the pace is already a lot quicker than it was on that previous session. Track conditions were about the same, and as I was mentioning on that previous video, the kind of lap times of this kart, right, it is an owner kart, it is not the Club 100 rental karts that I usually race in. It's only a couple of seconds a lap quicker than a Club 100 kart, but it's lighter, it's a bit more nimble, got a bit more drive coming out of the corners as well. It's a twin engine pro kart, it's running with GX, I think 220 engine, so there's an engine on the right, engine on the left. It is Honda, it is a 4-stroke, and to be honest, that's about all I know. Don't ask me how much BHP it has, but straight out of the pits, I'm wanting to get the power down. And if you remember, I mean, genuinely go back and have a look at what my pace was like in the previous session and how I was driving the car, because with this setup that I've got, the car just felt completely different. There was so much more grip, and even though this is my first lap out and the tyres are a bit cold, I was still able to do so much more with it. Again though, this is the first lap out of the pit, so I am being a little bit tentative. I am still just having a feel of the car, and I'm knowing that someone is catching up to me, but once he gets past, I do start putting in some really quick laps behind him, and you'll see that I actually beat the lap time, the personal best that is on the Alfano, which is currently a 1 minute 12.4 something. I think it's 0.48, and I end up doing a 1 minute 12.4. So this is going up the hill. This is one of the trickiest parts of the circuit. There's a yellow flag, there's a little incident, and as I come out of the corner, I think this is where Mr. Red Plate is going to come past us. But now, as I mentioned on the previous session, this is one of the most fun parts of the circuit. You're coming through this flat, and then right at the end of that flat section, you jump on the brakes. Don't have to let the car all the way out to the right, and then the 115 car comes through. He's had a few laps on his tyres. His tyres are probably a couple of hours older than mine, so I might have a slight advantage there. But he is a super pro. He's got that red and white number plate, and I'm just in the pro class. So this was a good judge of pace for me to see if I could keep up with the 115 car, who actually runs from the same morning in the MS Lucas car paddock. So here we go then for a lap, a little dab on the brakes, try to hold it nice and tight through that left hand, and then use all of the curb really through the right. On the curb again, just a little bit through the left, and now this is really tricky because you're braking on the bumps, you're trying to take as much curb as you can, getting on the power early, opening up the steering, and then through the right, carry as much speed as you can on the brakes, and then back on the power, using up that concrete curb all the way to the left, so you can get a nice smooth run through the right hander and get a good exit, which is what we do. And now we've got slipstream. That's going to allow us to close in on to the 1-1 115 car as we go into the slalom, as I like to call it. On the brakes, he gets a little bit more sideways than us, so we're a bit more composed, and that means we gain a little bit of time. Didn't carry quite as much speed as I probably should have through that right hand, and you can see that that gap just extends between us on corner exits. We definitely took that corner better than I did. I missed the apex a tiny bit through the long right hander, and then on the brakes, clip the curb as well, and I take a slightly tighter line than the 115 does, and that means that I can open up the left hander more, get a better exit coming out of the corner, and this might actually be my personal best. Is this a 1 minute 12.4? I think it is. It is indeed, and you can see it says on the screen best 1 minute 12.4, so that's my PB, and I managed to do it on my third lap of the session. So yeah, all in all, a good lap. Unfortunately, the cam box battery did die soon after this because some of my other teammates were using it beforehand, but I get a good run. I get past the 115 car, which is a good way to bring this video to a close, although he is able to out-drag me on the straight, so I'm going to have to tuck back in behind him, but I do want to go for a move, but for now, just going to sit behind. That being said though, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and plenty more of these videos to come. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, all of that jazz, and stay tuned for many more karting videos on the Milky Serial YouTube channel.